Hello there. Thank you for choosing Muertes International Airlines, your one-stop destination for traveling to the Cinco Muertes, or the 5 deaths for the Spanish impaired. I see you've booked a personal flight to the Isla Sorna, known more commonly as Isla Sorna. Located 207 miles west of Costa Rica, Isla Sorna is the largest member of the 5 deaths, nestled northeast of Isla Tacaño and south of Isla Muerta. Once acquiring Isla Sorna, Indian codenamed the island Site B, and thus became the factory floor, where dinosaurs were cloned in the various facilities built on the island. The dinosaurs were nursed in temporary cages until they were fit to be transported to the illy cancelled Jurassic Park on Isla Nublar, 87 miles east. Despite this, our embryonic facilities remain operational to this day, producing stunning dinosaurs for exhibition across the Cinco Muertes. I think that's enough for the island's origins, adventurers. For now, sit back and enjoy your pterosaur eye view, as we'll be arriving to Isla Sorna shortly. Welcome to Jurassic Park, here on Isla Sorna. We hope you enjoyed your flight with Muertes International. Feeling a little drained? No problem. Take a moment to adjust to the warm, dense jungle environment. Enjoy a flavorful, fruity beverage before heading into the Welcome Center to verify your tickets. It is here that you'll also receive a visitor's pass. If you happen to lose your visitor's pass, there's no need to panic. Simply consult a member of our knowledgeable staff to receive a new one. Once departing from the Welcome Center, you'll find numerous signs posted about the park to help you navigate around. Your first priority should be getting settled into your Safari Lodge. The Safari Lodge offers a cozy and secluded night's rest, giving you the feeling of sleeping in a prehistoric jungle. Each lodge has 2 rooms and a personal cafe, serving complimentary breakfast and refreshments daily. Settled next to the Safari Lodges are one of the many feeding stations for our free-roaming little critters called Conchsobnithus. This theropod dinosaur lived in Germany and France during the late Jurassic period. There's no need for alarm, as this little pack hunter only eats bugs and small lizards.
You may have noticed a Thunderdome-esque structure behind the compies, but it is what's inside that will delight you. This here is Isla Sorna's exclusive aviary complex, showcasing our terrific pteranodons. Pteranodon was first discovered by Othniel Charles Marsh in 1870 in the late Cretaceous Smoky Hill chalk deposits of western Kansas. The first pterosaur discovered outside of Europe, it was originally deemed a species of the much larger and earlier Pterodactylus, but that changed when its skull was discovered, and thus its lack of teeth lent it its name. These creatures are sure to enchant everyone with their elegant soaring and grace.
Now that you know where you'll be sleeping tonight, let's take a brief detour far from the visitor center to visit the burrows. This town serves as the backbone for all the park's operations on Isla Sorna. Every member of the park staff reside here at night. This is also where the park's geothermal power plant is located. It is here that the boiling energies beneath the island are harnessed into raw power to keep the lights on around here. Moving towards the back of the town, you'll find the Engine Administrative Building. It is here that the personnel check into the town and maintain constant communication with the worker villages of the other parks and engine headquarters in Palo Alto, California. Next to the engine administration are special pens for housing the animals' livestock to feed our ever-hungry carnivores. Next to the livestock paddocks lies an entrance to the park service roads, where our rangers can move freely in and out of the numerous animal enclosures without disturbing the animals or your safari experience. Speaking of your safari experience, let's move on to the final stop where the safari adventure really begins. This is our multi-level visitor center, the central hub of guest activity here on Isla Sorna. Within the 3 central rotundas, everything you'll need can be found. Visit the Mr. DNA ride, where you can witness the actual labs and scientists resurrect the animals of Isla Sorna. You'll also visit the control room, where every facet of the park is monitored and managed by the staff. We also provide fine dining here at Las Nagantes. This 5-star restaurant is the 4th of its kind, with 4 other locations on Isla Madeceras, Muertes, Tacaño, and Pena. Be sure to reserve a table from your safari lodge before visiting. The visitor center is also where guests can schedule their tour of the island. We offer both night and day tours to ensure that you get to see all of the animals. Once you're ready to depart for the tour, head over to the loading bay and wait for your caravan to arrive. These will be your transports for the afternoon. Jurassic Park delivers guests a safari experience like no other, with our fleet of electric, self-guided Ford Explorers, allowing a safe, comfortable, and exciting ride. Come aboard and get situated as the tour will begin momentarily.
Now hold on just a second there, friends. I'm Mr. DNA. You may have heard of me. Now, we have some safety procedures to go over, cause we here at Jurassic Park like to keep blood-sucking lawyers away. Firstly, keep your hands to yourself and respect everyone's personal space. Secondly, please stay seated during the duration of the tour. Remember, this is a moving vehicle and may encounter rough terrain. Exiting the vehicle is prohibited. However, the tour may come to a few rest stops during your journey. You'll be notified when exiting the vehicle is allowed. When outside the vehicle in the park, please do not touch any fences, as some of them carry 10,000 volts. We also kindly ask you to refrain from bringing any messy or sticky food or drinks into the vehicles, and do not leave any trash behind. Lastly, Jurassic Park is not responsible for loss of any personal items within these vehicles, so please make sure to check behind the seats and in the glove compartment in case you store anything in there. Lastly, and the most important rule, is to have fun and to enjoy the ride.
Thanks, Mr. DNA. And now a quick message from the CEO of Engine before you depart for the afternoon.
Welcome one and all to Jurassic Park. Unique world of adventure unlike anything you've ever experienced before. I should explain. I'm John Hammond, the owner and creator of this magnificent enterprise. By this time, I'm sure you're quite aware that Jurassic Park refers to that time in history, the Jurassic period, when dinosaurs roamed the world. Here at Jurassic Park, we've created the world's largest man-made living laboratory devoted solely to the study of dinosaurs. At the park laboratories, scientists and geneticists are at work on the process of cloning the selected dinosaurs that will live in our park. A miraculous feat of bioengineering. A central control, our nerve center for the entire site. Every creature is monitored on a continual basis. Nothing is left to chance. And in the field, our park rangers are constantly watching the area, communicating directly with central control at all times, and patrolling the site to ensure guest comfort and safety. And at the boat launching area, that's where you're headed, each and every boat is in continual radio contact with the home base and central control as well. So now prepare yourselves for the adventure of a lifetime as you journey into the world of the dinosaurs on our Jurassic Park adventure. I guarantee you, nothing has prepared you for the adventure ahead. So from all of us, to all of you, well, thanks for coming. and have a wonderful day at Jurassic Park!
How do you do, adventurers? The name's Rocco, and I'll be your safari guide this afternoon. While I won't be there with you, my voice will be here to guide you through the numerous paddocks of the park and the wonderful animals within them. Now, I do think we spent enough time getting to know each other, don't you think? So let's get these wheels rolling. The appropriate information will be automatically selected for you on the screen. Please just sit back, relax, and enjoy the tour. Please be sure to turn off the flash on your cameras and no shouting when outside the vehicles in the park. You are now entering the lost world of the past, a world in which amazing creatures big and small rule the earth. A world in which you are privileged to see today. Welcome to Jurassic Park. We will be approaching our first enclosure through this dark valley. If you look to the left, you'll see a herd of the first dinosaurs on our tour called Dilophosaurus. Please be sure to keep the vehicle's windows up. Dilophosaurus lived in what is now known as Arizona in the Cayenta Formation. At around 20 feet long, it was a medium-sized dinosaur compared to many later theropods, but during the early Jurassic, it was the largest predator on land. Like many primitive theropods, it had eyes on either side of its head, and so could not see directly ahead. For many decades, the known material of Dilophosaurus painted a picture of a very delicate animal that couldn't take on large prey, which led researchers to suggest that it only ate small animals or scavenged the kills of more capable predators. We now know that Dilophosaurus is quite the capable hunter, sporting a fascinating frill rung around its neck, which is used as a warning to indicate when it would launch its venom, causing blindness and eventual paralysis, making Dilophosaurus a beautiful but deadly attraction to Jurassic Park. Moving along, we'll be heading a few million years ahead to the savannas of the late Jurassic, where two fan favorites reside. This spiky spore needs no introduction, as even the youngest of fans know and love Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus was first found in 1877 by the famous paleontologist Othniel Charles Marsh in the Morrison Formation. Famous for the large plates on his back and the lethal spikes on his tail, the name Stegosaurus means roof lizard, as Marsh first theorized that the plates lay across the dinosaur's back as a sort of armor. It was only after several complete skeletons were found that the plates were correctly reconstructed. Being too fragile for defense, they were more likely used for display or intimidating predators. Stegosaurus also had 4 thagomizers on the end of its tail, which would have been used as a potent weapon against predators like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus, as demonstrated by an Allosaurus vertebra that was described with a large hole perfectly fitting the shape of a Stegosaurus thagomizer. You certainly wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this giant's malice. Bunked with the Stegosaurs are the far more graceful and welcoming Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus is known only from the Morrison Formation, but is one of the more sparse sauropods from this area, due to its fossil evidence being quite rare. With the most complete skeleton being a subadult, much of the reconstruction has been based on Giraffatitan from the Tendaguru Formation, which at one point was considered an African species of Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus and his family have two notable features that distinguish them from other sauropods. Their front legs are proportionally longer than their rear legs, and their neck is held upright. This allowed Brachiosaurus to reach into the high treetops and avoid competition with ground-dwelling herbivores. A fully grown Brachiosaurus probably didn't have much to fear from carnivores, but juveniles may have fallen prey to predators such as Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus. Speaking of Ceratosaurus, this is the next dinosaur on our tour. For now, say goodbye to these gentle giants. We have arrived at Cerato Cove, the home of our combative Ceratosauruses. Ceratosaurus remains have been found in North America and Portugal. While specimens have been reported from Tanzania, Uruguay, and Switzerland, most scientists doubt their assignment to this genus. In the Moore's information, it is one of the rarer theropods, being overshadowed by the more common Allosaurus. An interesting feature of Ceratosaurus are the lines of osteoderms raised by bony growths down his back, which are similar to a crocodile. These act as a type of armor, which suggests that Ceratosaurus competed with and even fought with larger carnivores such as Torvosaurus and Allosaurus. Ceratosaurus' most famous feature are his three horns, one on his snout and two above his eyes. Originally, it was believed to have been a dangerous weapon used to attack herbivores or even rivals. In recent studies, it has been concluded that these horns were too blunt and fragile to be used as weapons and were more likely a display feature that helped it attract mates. I'm sure everyone can attest to the beauty of these creatures' features. Doubling back through the stegos and brachios, we'll be flying a few million years ahead to visit some heavy-hitting Hell Creek herbivores. First up, the hard-headed lizard Pachycephalosaurus. This dinosaur was discovered in the late 1800s in the American West by various groups. There is an ongoing debate on whether other Pachycephalosauridae in the Hell Creek Formation, Stygimoloch and Dracorex, are younger forms of Pachycephalosaurus. The first fossil specimens found were skulls which fossilized easily, being that they would have been the hardest part of the body. The hardened head was most likely used in contests with rivals for mating or status in the herd, though they wouldn't have headbutted like modern-day goats and instead would have struck each other on the flanks. It seems like these chrome domes pack quite the punch, so let's hope none of us get on their bad side. Here we have a walking tank named Ankylosaurus, the largest armored dinosaur and namesake of said group. Ankylosaurus was discovered by Barnum Brown between 1906 and 1908 in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana. Even though a complete skeleton has never been discovered, paleontologists have a very good idea of how this dinosaur looked by studying his very close relative and predecessor, Protocephalus. Recognizable by the large club at the end of his tail, Ankylosaurus is usually seen as the archetypal ankylosaur, but it had plenty of features unique to itself. It was a massive animal, far larger than any nodosaur and even the average ankylosaur. Also, its nose was larger than expected and almost moose-like, a possible indicator of a well-developed sense of smell. Its armor, like that of other ankylosaurs, was plate-like and lightweight, rather than the spiky heavyweight defenses Nodosaurus displayed. Its massive tail club was similar to that of Protocephalus, yet with slightly different proportions. No predators, even the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, would dare to hunt Ankylosaurus, as doing so could result in bone fracture, or even worse, death. Let that be a lesson to you adventurers. This and our next dinosaur command respect. Discovered in 1889, the legendary Triceratops is thus the largest ceratopsian discovered and among the world's most famous dinosaurs. A member of the Chasmosaurine branch of ceratopsians, there are two known species of Triceratops genus, Triceratops prorsus and the holotype Triceratops horridus. Recently, there has been speculation that Torosaurus, a rarer ceratopsian that coexisted with Triceratops, may have been a more mature form of Triceratops. However, this is still under debate. A second species named Netoceratops, known from only fragmentary remains, is also theorized to be an immature Triceratops. Triceratops was one of the most common herbivores in late Cretaceous North America and lived alongside species such as Edmontosaurus, Ankylosaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus. The apex predator of its environment, its arch-nemesis and equally famous Tyrannosaurus, was known to hunt and battle Triceratops for millions of years until the cataclysmic mass extinction of the late Cretaceous. These three herbivores certainly showcase the biological arms race of the fossil record. Armament and weaponry were certainly needed to survive in hard times like those. Moving along to less threatening herbivores of the Cretaceous, this paddock should be more relaxing. The haunting and harmonious calls echoing through the forest come from our charming Corythosaurus and posh Parasaurolophus. Corythosaurus was discovered in 1911 by Barnum Brown in Red Deer River, Alberta, Canada. As part of the Lambeosaurine branch of Hadrosaurs, it possessed a distinctive crest. This crest is semicircular in shape and gave the dinosaur its name, Corythosaurus, meaning helmet lizard, as the crest resembles a helmet from Corinth, a city in ancient Greece. Like many other Lambeosaurine crests, it was hollow and filled with air chambers used for both communication and display. Some specimens of the dinosaur are well preserved enough that soft tissue has been discovered, such as skin impressions and webbing between its hoof-like toes and ear canals. The accompanying duck-billed hadrosaur before us is named Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus was discovered in 1920 by a group from the University of Toronto in Alberta, Canada. The name Parasaurolophus means near-crested lizard, as early paleontologists originally believed this dinosaur was a direct relative of a genus called Saurolophus, though this is no longer accepted. The dinosaur is known for its distinctive head crest, a point of discussion for many years since the genus was discovered. Some early paleontologists thought, among other theories, that it was used as a defensive weapon or as a way to push branches out of the way as it roamed through dense growth. The most common belief, especially in modern times, and for all other crested hadrosaurs, is that the crests were used as an amplifying chamber for communication and for displaying to potential mates. And quite the display they are, adventurers. Moving along, we'll be heading to late Cretaceous Mongolia to visit quite a speedy species. Currently running amongst us are galloping Gallimimus. Gallimimus is one of the largest, if not the largest and best understood of the Ornithomimidae family. Like other genera such as Struthiomimus, it had long legs and long neck and a toothless beak. The diet of this family of dinosaurs has always been a point of debate, from stomach contents containing gastrulous stones and wear and tear on beaks suggests that Gallimimus was mostly herbivorous. Gallimimus also had a wide field of vision and intelligence comparable to rabbit-type birds. As an ornithomimid, Gallimimus would have been a fleet animal, using its speed to escape predators such as Tarbosaurus, with speeds estimated at 29 to 39 miles per hour. This is easily the fastest dinosaur here on Isla Sorna. However, this next species comes close in second. Moving away from the doomed sea, we'll be heading to a more secluded oasis. We are now entering Velociraptor Valley, the residence of our vivid, vicious velociraptors. Known as the Swift Thief, Velociraptor lived around 75 to 71 million years ago in Mongolia, the first specimen of which was discovered in 1923 by Peter Kaysen in the Gobi Desert. The environment Velociraptor lived in is believed to have been arid with sand dunes, shrubbery, and small streams covering the landscape. It is now known from over a dozen fossils, the most famous of which is one locked in combat with Proceratops. Velociraptor, like other dromaeosaurs, had large hands with 3 elongated digits, fingers, which ended up in strongly curved claws that were similar in construction, and flexibility to the wing bones of model birds, further cementing the theory of birds evolving from dinosaurs. Velociraptor also bore a relatively large sickle-shaped claw, typical of dromaeosaur and troodontid dinosaurs. This enlarged claw, which could grow to over 5 inches long around its outer edge, was most likely a predatory device used to restrain struggling prey. Thankfully, we won't have the misfortune of being in the clutches of these intelligent pack hunters. Moving along, we'll be visiting another 5-star dinosaur shortly. We have now entered T-Rex territory. The vehicles will be making a 10-minute stop here to ensure you catch a glimpse of our terrifying Tyrannosaurus. Infamous for being called the king of the dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus had a bite force of almost 6,000 kilograms of pressure, giving it arguably the strongest jaws ever seen amongst terrestrial carnivores, with only extremely large crocodilians such as Deinosuchus and marine predators such as Mosasaurus and the Megalodon having rivaled or surpassed it in sheer bite force. Its teeth are actually blunt and rely more on the bite force than a serrated edge like other theropods. This was an adaptation to crush bones and bite through body armor, allowing adult Tyrannosaurus to both bring down armored prey such as Ankylosaurus and Ceratopsians, as well as process a carcass efficiently by crunching bones and tougher tissues to eat. Paleontologists suggested a wide range of maximum running speeds for Tyrannosaurus. For a time, given the size of its legs, it was speculated that Tyrannosaurus could run up to 45 miles per hour. Later, from 2002 to 2017, applying Tyrannosaurus' physiology to modern reptiles and birds, they downsized its top speed to 25 to 35 miles per hour. In 2019, studies officially declared Tyrannosaurus' maximum speed at 11 miles per hour. It has been suggested that if an adult Tyrannosaurus even tried running faster than 11 miles per hour, their bones would shatter and break. While the adults were slow, it is possible that the juveniles could run at greater speeds. Ironically, the average human can only run up to 8 miles per hour. However, I can assure you we'll never have to test who can run faster. Alright everyone, it's time to say goodbye to the tyrant lizards of Isla Sorna, as the tour will be resuming shortly. For this next dinosaur, we'll be heading eastward to Cretaceous Africa for our mesmerizing Majungasaurus. Majungasaurus is a close relative of Carnotaurus that is found exclusively in Madagascar. It inhabited coastal floodplains cut by many sandy river channels with a semi-arid climate. Majungasaurus was briefly called Majungatholus, a name which is now considered a junior synonym of Majungasaurus. This dinosaur comes from the Abylasauroidea superfamily, which evolved from primitive carnivores such as Ceratosaurus from the Jurassic. Majungasaurus so far has been the largest carnivore from Madagascar's Maverano Formation and was the top predator of its time. There is also evidence for cannibalism in Majungasaurus, with bones showing bite marks that could only be made by other Majungasaurus. Albeit it's unclear if these cases represent scavenging on carcasses or active cannibalism. Thankfully, these animals are well fed, so will never feel the need to resort to cannibalism. is our final dinosaur on the tour, whom is yet another African native. The vehicles will yet again be making another 10-minute stop so as to allow you to admire our spectacular Spinosaurus. Described as being potentially the largest theropod dinosaur ever discovered and recognizable by the large cell on its back, Spinosaurus remains have been found in Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, and Niger. The first remains were found in Egypt by a German paleontological team led by Ernst Stromer in 1915 and brought to a museum in Munich. Unfortunately, these fossils were destroyed during a bombing raid in World War II. In the 1990s, new discoveries emerged, revealing a crocodile-like snout, as well as bones indicating that Spinosaurus was among the largest theropods ever found. From the 1990s to the early 2010s, Spinosaurus was depicted as a primarily terrestrial carnivore with a body plan similar to that of other theropods. However, discoveries in 2014 and 2020 have revealed the animal had relatively short hind limbs and a long tail with neurospines forming a flexible fin or paddle-like structure thought to be used for swimming. As you could probably tell, the Spinosaurus before you does not represent this. However, this merely is the byproduct of Engine's rigorous process of filling in the genetic codes of our dinosaurs. The cell of Spinosaurus has also been a point of discussion, like that of Ouranosaurus, with some claiming it is a large cell for display or thermal regulation like Dimetrodon. Others arguing that it is a fat-filled hump like that of a camel for dry periods, or some believe it acted like a dorsal fin to help in swimming. Spinosaurus is a rare kind of dinosaur, one that has seen numerous reconstructions and redesigns since its initial discovery. It truly is a creature we can never fully do justice due to its cryptic nature. However, folks, that doesn't mean we can't enjoy the amazing animals appearing in our times today. I hate to say this, everyone, but this is the end of our safari tour. We hope you enjoyed this relaxing cruise through time and will be planning another stay here at Jurassic Park.
Nice to see that you're back. I know you had a wonderful time on the tour. Unfortunately, this is all we have to offer here on Isla Sorna. Yet another adventure is coming to a close, but you're always welcome back to the Cinco Muertes. Head over to the heliport where your chopper is waiting.
Ground crew, please stand by. Helicopter departing.